Good evening, fellow punchers. Mickey D back with you here on Monday evening. Clock on the wall says 28 minutes past 7. A bit later than I had planned. Got slightly delayed. We had one runner today, one non-runner. The one runner drifted like a barge, striking a pose. Don't know what the reason was that he goes well fresh. In that situation, if a horse drifts, I always find that, let's say if you had 20 quid on that horse today, you could have cashed out for 18, and if you went €9 each way then at 15 to 2, you'd make a profit. You wouldn't be losing the 20. So it's just something to keep in mind as we delve into the winter bets, that any way we can not to lose money is the best way to make money, I always say. But Christina had put up 3 non-runner and 2 winners and good prices as well. I think they were 15 to 2 and 5 to 2. Well done, Christina. That's why you're known as the Queen of the Bus. And Tony Hutton had one as well there today. The Dorkin lad, wasn't it? Anyway, keep them going. A shout out to Gary Donlan from Longford. He said that there's a big match taking place at their grounds. The Longford Slashers ladies are playing in the All-Ireland Intermediate semi-final on this Saturday. They're playing Charlestown. So best of good luck to the two of them. They're champions in their province anyway. So that's a great year for them. So one of them will be into an All-Ireland final. Wish them both the best of luck. They're either side of me, so I can't be taking sides. Also, William Hart, first time on the bus, and also Mike Connolly Music has been on for the last couple of weeks. I don't know whether I mentioned him or not, but we might have music for the Christmas party when we have on the bus, when we get going. Anyway, 2 for tomorrow. It's hard enough get anything this week. The first one is the 245 at Limerick. It's a handicap hurl. Henry de Bromhead won this in 2018 with the 5-year-old called Plan of Attack, and he is a horse with a similar profile this year called Hand Over Fist. It's a lightly raced 5-year-old out of Red Dubawi. 3 runs in maiden hurls and 1 in a handicap hurl the last day, and it ran a nice race. It's a big galloping horse. Ideally it's going to make a grand chaser, but I thought the track in Limerick might suit it pretty well tomorrow, besides the tight track in Tramore. It ran pretty well the last day. It's a big galloping horse, was saying. He was 16 to 1 that day. He was 95. He's up a pound to 96. And Conor Brazel takes off £5 as well, a valuable £5. And his last winner was on Magical Zoe. Not when it won its last race, but when it broke its maiden hurdle in September. So, and that was for Henry as well. So he must be pretty decent. And it's a 7 to 2 shot, so a point win on that. And then I had a couple of more, but when the prices came up, they were short. And I got one there, and it was 5 to 2, but it's into 15 to 8 now on 13 to 8. It's Apple Rock. Ben Pauling trains it, and Ben Pauling is going well enough. In the last 21 days, he has 37 runners, 9 winners and 12 places. But Apple Rock he has won off 117 previously, and 110 and 117. That was in January and February of 2021. But had a good run last year in November, the first run of the year. We raised 120 at the time in Cheltenham to Art Approval. So he hasn't ran since March, but Pauling's yard is going pretty decent. So I thought that He's a bit shorter now than he was 5-2 earlier, so there is money for him. Probably the danger would be Nicky Henderson's horse there, Lelantos. That ran didn't run great the last year, but it had it's a consistent one there, 3 wins out of the previous 5. I think it's between the two of them, so I'm choosing Apple Rock with the weight, with Luca Morgan taking off £3 there as well, so that's bringing him down then to 105. So he's run off 170, that'd be £12 lower. So that's it. That's the 2 for tomorrow. Oh, when I was a young man, I carried my pack, and I lived a free life over. From the Murray's green basin to the dusty outback, I waltzed my Matilda all over. And in 1915, my country said, son, it's time to stop rambling, there's work to be done. And they gave me a tin hat, and they gave me a gun, and they sent me away to the war. And the band played Waltzing Matilda as we sailed away from the quay. And amidst all the tears and the shouts and the cheers, we sailed off to Gallipoli. How well I remember that terrible day when the blood stained the sand and the water, and how in that hell that they called Suvla Bay we were butchered like lambs at the slaughter. Johnny Turkey was ready, he primed himself well, he showered us with bullets, he rained us with shells, and in 5 minutes flat, we were all blown to hell. Nearly blew us black home to Australia, but the band played Waltzing Matilda as the ship pulled away from the quay, and we stared at buried ours and the Turks buried theirs. Then we started all over again. Now those who were living did their best to survive in that mad world of blood, death and fire. And for 7 long weeks I kept myself alive while the corpses around me piled higher. Then a big Turkish shell knocked me arse over hell, and when I awoke in my hospital bed and saw what it had done, Christ, I wish I was dead. Never knew there was worse things than dying, and no more I'll go waltzing Matilda to the green bushes so far and near. For to hump tent and pegs, a man needs both legs. No more waltzing Matilda for me. Waltzing Matilda, who'll come a waltzing Matilda with me? Bash the bookies, over and out.